Another Day, Another Book. The Story of My Experiments with Truth is an autobiographical work by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, also known as Mahatma Gandhi, published in 1927. The book narrates the life of Gandhi from his childhood to his experiences in South Africa and India, as well as his spiritual and political evolution. The book is divided into several parts and covers various themes, such as truth, non-violence, religion, politics, and social reform. Part 1. My Early Life. The first part of the book describes Gandhi's childhood and education in Porbandar, Gujarat. He talks about his family background, his early influences, and his early experiments with truth. He also discusses his experiences at school, his love for reading, and his first encounter with meat eating, which had a profound impact on him. The first part of the book also covers his marriage and his struggles to adjust to married life. Part 2. The Law Student. The second part of the book covers Gandhi's time in England, where he studied law. He describes his experiences in England, including his encounters with racism, his struggle to reconcile his Western education with his Indian heritage, and his experiments with vegetarianism, which led him to adopt it as a way of life. He also discusses his reading of the Bhagavad Gita, which had a significant influence on his thinking. Part 3. At the Tolstoy Farm. The third part of the book covers Gandhi's time in South Africa, where he spent 21 years as a lawyer and social reformer. He describes his experiences with racism and discrimination, his involvement in the Indian community's struggle for civil rights, and his experiments with satyagraha, a form of nonviolent resistance. He also discusses his encounter with the teachings of Leo Tolstoy, which had a significant impact on his thinking and activism. Part 4. In India. The fourth part of the book covers Gandhi's return to India in 1915 and his involvement in India's struggle for independence from British rule. He describes his efforts to mobilize the Indian people through non-violent means, his involvement in various social and political movements, and his experiments with fasting, which he used as a tool for social and political reform. He also discusses his relationship with other Indian leaders, such as Jawaharlal Nehru and Vallabhbhai Patel. Part 5. Resurgence of India. The fifth part of the book covers the period between 1919 and 1921, when Gandhi launched various campaigns against British rule, including the non-cooperation movement and the salt satyagraha. He describes his philosophy of non-violence, his belief in the power of self-suffering, and his experiences in jail. He also discusses his spiritual evolution and his growing influence on the Indian people. Part 6. Satyagraha in Practice. The sixth part of the book covers Gandhi's involvement in various satyagraha campaigns, including the Kheda Satyagraha, the Ahmedabad textile strike, and the Bardoli Satyagraha. He describes his strategies for mobilizing people, his methods for resolving conflicts, and his belief in the transformative power of nonviolent resistance. He also discusses his views on religion, spirituality, and social reform. Part 7. Constructive Program. The seventh part of the book covers Gandhi's efforts to promote social and economic reform in India through his constructive program. He describes his experiments with various forms of self-help, including Khadi, which he used as a means of economic empowerment for the poor. He also discusses his involvement in the Harijan movement, which aimed to eradicate untouchability, and his views on education, health, and rural development. Part 8. Conclusion. The final part of the book concludes with Gandhi's reflections on his life and his philosophy of life. He talks about the importance of truth, non-violence, and love, and their transformative power. He also reflects on his mistakes and shortcomings and his efforts to overcome them. The book ends with Gandhi's call for a more humane and just society, based on the principles of truth, non-violence, and selfless service. The Story of My Experiments with Truth is a compelling and inspiring account of one of the most influential figures in modern history. Gandhi's life and teachings continue to inspire people around the world to this day, and his philosophy of non-violence and social reform remains relevant in the face of ongoing struggles for justice and equality. The book is not only a fascinating read but also a valuable source of insight and inspiration for anyone seeking to live a more meaningful and purposeful life. Thanks for watching.